Once again, folks, I'm just full of surprises on the types of games I've been playing lately. So what's up, guys? Boy Ed0626 bringing you a new game. It's called America's Army Proving Grounds, and it's kind of like a army simulator. I don't know if it's so much a simulator for the actual army of like what to do in combat, but it's more of like a simulator for the public of like what types of operations that the army does, on a day-to-day basis. From what I understand, it was a PC game. I believe that there's been several, reiterations of it, and this one is the latest. It's called Proving Grounds, I believe, and it just recently came on the PSN store. And a couple of my buddies were like, "Oh, Matt, you should get this game." Yada yada yada. Actually, speaking of my friends, I'm actually playing with my buddy Grenade right now. So shout out to him. I'll leave his links down in the description below. So basically, to me, it's kind of similar to Counter-Strike. It's not the same, but it has a similar kind of format. You have teams, you have certain types of game modes, like for instance, we're playing VIP. So in this case, we're defending our drop zone from the VIP entering, he's basically got to go through that little doorway for his team to win the game. We have to prevent that. Now, there's two ways of doing that. We either take out the VIP, or we just take out his entire team. More often than not, it's probably, as you can see, that's how he won. More often than not, it's basically because the enemy team was completely wiped out. But it's actually kind of cool because unlike Counter-Strike, and believe me, I don't play Counter-Strike, but I've seen my little brother play it on a few occasions. It's not my game, but this is definitely the closest thing to playing it I've actually encountered. So, unlike Counter-Strike, once you die, you die. But in this game, you can do a couple things. You could heal yourself, you could revive your teammates, and you could secure an enemy. Now, what securing an enemy means is that you could, once you kill an enemy or you see a dead enemy and he hasn't been secured yet, all you have to do is press a button, and you just have to, basically do an animation where you wrap your arms around the guy, pretty much. Or no, you don't wrap your arms around him, but you wrap his arms around his back, basically, and you secure him that way, and that prevents him from being revived again. So it's actually, kind of cool. This game is probably the most tactical game I've ever played. It actually requires you to actually communicate with your teammates, and I kind of like that. I like social types of games like that. Of course, I don't really talk to randoms in this game, because I don't trust nobody. The only people I can trust is my homies, as you can tell. I mean, me and Grenade were the only people talking to each other the entire match. And, but it's still, even one or two people, you can still do pretty well. And, I think the one thing that I recommend is that you should probably always play this game with a group of people. To me, this game is not the type of game I would play solo because it just requires too much communication with randoms, and like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of that. I hate having to rely on other teammates that I don't know to, get the job done. So in my personal opinion, I would just play with a group, 2 or 3 people or more, because you can actually have up to 8, I think, or 6 to 8 in a party, and which is practically an entire team. So I think the more people you can get a hold of, the better. In terms of how the weapons are set up, I find that the weapon system to be somewhat, how do I say, in a nice way, it's kind of limited. There are certain types of classes, like for instance, I'm assault or something like that, or some sort of rifleman. It's hard to explain. I don't quite remember everything, but it's like there's a sniper, there's a advanced rifleman. That's basically your machine gun type of guy. You have like a regular rifleman who is a which had the M4 or M16, which is what I'm using right now. You know, it's the types of guns you have are kind of limited. It's, you know, it's still pretty good. You know, I actually kind of like the game doesn't have a lot of weapons, because, you know, sometimes more guns are more powerful than others. And I kind of think all the guns kind of kill at relatively the same rate, depending on how good your connection is. So, you know, I think it's pretty good. You know, I kind of think it's a bad thing, but I think it's a good thing at the same time. It's really hard for me to find that medium. In my opinion, I think the amount of guns they have in the game right now is okay, but it's still limited. Especially the types of customization you can have. You know, before the match, I don't know if you noticed, you could customize the type of loadout you want. You can customize your sights, customize your pistols, customize your grenades. Although the one thing I do want to mention is the grenade spam. I find the grenade spam to be too much, in my personal opinion, because, you know, sometimes you can have like the lethal grenade, which do a lot of damage. Actually, you'll see a little bit later that a couple of teammates and I, we are kind of gathered up in a one area, and that kind of hurts us in the long run, because we got triple killed on by an enemy grenade. Stun grenades are also, you know, the grenade spam. It's kind of like Battlefield 1 if you think about it. There's a grenade spam like no other in this game, and, you know, while it is for tactical reasons sometimes, like sometimes people will do stun grenades, that type of shit. I don't know. But first of all, I don't know how I don't know how I didn't kill that guy in the stairway. I put a lot of bullets into him. That's another problem I wanted to mention. You know, it feels like you should be killing people, but you're really not. You feel like you're just putting bullets in somebody and they're just not going down. I think that's a lag thing, which actually is kind of an issue in this game. I've joined games and my NAT type says it's moderate. There are also times, this gameplay I took, today is what, Tuesday? This gameplay I took was on last night, and first of all, I don't know when this is ever going to get recorded, or uploaded, I should say. I'm recording it on Tuesday, the 8th, so whenever this gets uploaded is whenever it gets uploaded. But I played this game last night, and there was a point where me and my buddy Grenade had he had several bad lag spikes just in one game alone, and I don't know, you know, I think the game has only been out for a month at this point, from what I understand. So I actually said during this gameplay, there probably, of course, it was live, so I wanted to take out the live part to do this commentary. You know, I said it's a new game. They probably want to just fix the bugs or whatever at some point, you know, because they're gonna have to, you know, or else nobody's gonna want to play this anymore. So, other than that, you know, I still think it's a cool game. First of all, there were 3 dudes there. This is exactly the point I made earlier. 3 dudes there, and not one of them died, and I put so many bullets into the guys. You know, that's the one thing I have an issue with in this game. And then, as you saw, the grenades, you know, you see on the top of the screen there, you know, people are getting grenade kills like nobody's business. So that needs to be fixed. One thing I do want to kind of have fixed is, you know, to actually, you know, when you shoot somebody, I actually want I want an icon to confirm that I killed somebody, because sometimes you kill somebody, or you think you killed somebody and they're not down yet, that type of thing. See, my only issue in this game is you can't really tell when you kill somebody or not. You'll know when you died, obviously, but you don't know when the enemy you killed dies. So I wish there was some sort of like point icon, kind of like how Call of Duty and Battlefield do it. See, I pick up a nice double kill through the smoke there, and that's where the triple kill happens. You know, this map is kind of really choke pointy. You know, it's really has a lot of really narrow hallways, so like that's where the grenade spam really takes into effect really bad. So, and let's see, I got revived there. So, you know, all in all, I enjoyed this game for what it is. I just wish that there were some fixes that the game could have that would allow, you know, the game to be a little bit more fun. You know, maybe some more weapons. Like sometimes I wish they would put like I know it's an army game and it's kind of weapons specific to the US Army, but maybe kind of do something like kind of add in at some point, you know, like kind of like what Counter-Strike does. Like there's terrorists and counter-terrorists, and maybe have like some sort of terrorist type of game mode, and one team could have certain types of guns, the other team could have another certain types of guns. Like the US Army could have these guns that you see here. I think I'm using the Saw. I think that's the name of this gun. I forgot the actual name of it, but I think this is the Saw. I just don't know like the model and the numbers and shit like that. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I gotta say, man. Like I said, if you want to play this game, it's free right now on PlayStation Store. Like I said, I thoroughly enjoy it. It's definitely something that you just want to hop on. I do think that this game could be considered a competitive game at some point if anyone ever wants to try and make it that way. Because this game could definitely be a competitive game, like what Call of Duty is sometimes, or what Battlefield was at some point. You know, I think, or even Counter-Strike. Like I know Counter-Strike does a lot of competitive stuff. Like this game can definitely not rival Counter-Strike, but definitely you know, give it a competitive feature to it, like what Counter-Strike does. So that being said, y'all, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. You know, if you feel like this is going to be your type of game, by all means download it. You know, I can always use more people to play with. And hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great day, and peace out.